I work the graveyard at mile marker 13 Gas and Go, a squat brick box sitting where the highway forgets to breathe. At 2:37 a.m., the receipt printer coughed out paper on its own. No sale, no beep, just a message in jagged red letters. Do not turn around. I didn't. I watched the convex mirror over the coffee machines instead. In it, the empty aisle behind me smiled, like the station had teeth. Reggie, my manager, left me a yellowed index card taped under the lotto ads. Night rules, he'd written. Don't go outside if the bell rings and nobody comes in. Never authorize pump 3 after 2:30 a.m. If someone asks the time, say closing shortly, even though we never close. If you see yourself on the camera, don't wave back. Don't look into the bathroom mirror after 3:03. Maria, the last night clerk, quit mid-shift according to Reggie. The way the police worded it was failure to return. The neon open sign buzzed like a trapped fly. Moths tapped the glass. My radio, an AM brick that only picked up farm reports and sermons, drifted into static. Somewhere between, a child's voice giggled. I turned it off. It kept whispering. The cooler hummed higher, like breath held too long. The bell over the door chimed. No one entered. Rule number 1. I stayed put. Lights slid up the pumps. A Buick rolled to a stop at pump 3, headlights off. The driver's window stayed up. The silhouette inside was glossy, like rain on patent leather. I didn't authorize. My register tinged anyway. The sale clock ticked. $13.13. The printer spit another receipt. Thank you for feeding the road. I picked up the intercom. Before I spoke, the intercom spoke first in a voice that warmed my mouth. Don't help me. The bell chimed again, and this time a man came in, mid-50s, wet trench coat, mud dried on his cuffs like scabbed earth. He laid down exact change for a paper map of the county, coins so old they wore off their presidents' faces. What time is it? He asked, eyes milky gray like spilled milk in gasoline. Rule number 3. Closing shortly, I said. His lips lifted. Good, he said, and unfolded the map. The county roads spider-webbed in ink, but my station was circled in a fingernail crescent of dried brown. Have you seen this person? He slid me a Polaroid. Me behind the counter, tonight's hoodie, tonight's coffee stain, head bent toward a receipt that said do not turn around. No, I said, because what else was I supposed to say? He tucked the photo away. You will, he said, and left without opening the door. The bell still chimed. The bathroom light flickered to life on its own. I heard a faucet run, a throat clear, the squeak of the paper towel dispenser grinding out nothing. Rule number 5 pulsed in my head. Don't look into the bathroom mirror after 3:03. My watch read 3:01. I grabbed the bat we keep beneath the counter and thumbed the safety chain on the bathroom door, just enough to peek. The mirror showed the station not as it was, but as if it had burned down years ago. Char-curled magazines, dripping black plastic where the coffee pots should be, neon letters melted into a red puddle that spelled OPMs. Something moved in the mirror, something behind me that wasn't behind me at all. A boy in a stained school jacket stood where the hot dog roller would be, except it wasn't there in the reflection, just a warped metal spine. He raised a hand and pressed it to the glass from the far side. The mirror fogged around his fingers like he was breathing on it from the wrong world. Don't lock the door, he whispered. I slammed it anyway, through the bolt, and the station exhaled like a long, low tire losing air. CCTV monitors above the register fizzed. One screen showed the lot from the canopy, rain that wasn't real stippling concrete that wasn't wet. My spot behind the counter appeared on another feed, but the me on the screen wasn't moving. He was watching the printer, waiting for it to speak. The bell chimed again. The index card of rules peeled free from its tape and flapped once. I saw writing under Reggie's list, a line carved into the wood of the counter itself like a tally. 6th night. Don't answer the phone if it rings after you hang up. The payphone outside, no line connected, no dial tone for years, began to ring. Headlights swallowed the front windows. A tanker truck eased into the lot. No company logo, chrome skin pitted like a moon. The driver stepped down slowly. His mouth was a line of thin gray stitches, but when he spoke, his voice came crackling through the intercom. Scheduled drop, he said. We deliver to hunger. He rolled a black hose toward the fill caps. I leaned over the gauge panel. Our underground tanks should have been half full. The needle swung to empty. Cold crept up my wrist like I'd just dipped my hands into the ground. Not scheduled. I said into the mic, wrong station. The intercom fed back until it sounded like something laughing into a paper bag. The driver tilted his head and pointed at pump 3. The Buick was gone. The pump display cycled 13.13, 13.13, 13.13. A shadow sloshed inside the tank truck like something thick moving in sleep. I reached for the red emergency shutoff button by the counter. It wore a tiny hand-printed warning strip beneath it, a strip I'd never noticed. Do not cut the mouth mid-meal. My hand shook. The radio switched on by itself and Maria's voice, tired, soft, I'd heard it 100 nights, filled the shop. Authorize pump 3 and run, she whispered. Or don't. Either way, you'll learn which way the road eats. I hit the shutoff. The canopy lights died. The pumps clicked. The neon open sputtered into a dull crimson O. Silence yawned so wide my ears rang. Outside, the driver's stitches cracked as his mouth tried to open, but there was nothing to say in that new quiet. The darkness under the canopy thickened, like oil poured into a tub of milk. It seeped up over the curb and slipped its weight against the glass door. Not pushing, testing. The bell chimed faintly, once, as if from far away under a lake. The payphone rang again, somehow louder inside the dead silence. I picked it up. My own voice sobbed on the line for miles down the highway, windshield wipers thudding time. Don't let me in when I get there. I begged myself. Please. I saw what I looked like when I arrived. Headlights smeared across the windows. A car pulled into pump 3. Same dented bumper as mine. Same parking beeps. Same air freshener swinging like a pendulum. I flipped the open sign to closed and slid the bolt, and the station groaned like a thing offended. On the counter, the index card curled at the edges, revealing one last rule scratched into the wood grain beneath the rest. Never lock out yourself. It won't be you that pays. Outside, another me, stumbled from the driver's seat. The skin of his face was the color of smoke, and his hands shook with a rhythm I felt in my own bones. He looked through me like glass and pounded on the door. Please, he said in my voice. The printer hiccuped, hungry. Paper fed out slow and warm into my palm. You chose wrong. See you at pump 3. I didn't turn around. I didn't have to. The convex mirror over the coffee showed the station part its teeth. And the road outside, patient and starved, opened up to swallow whichever version of me the rules had promised.